Hi everyone, it's Laura with Pampered Chef. We are making a super easy recipe tonight. It is chicken Parmesan soup, and let me tell you, I've never made this before and it has come together super easy. So I used our quick cooker and I cooked chicken. I just had thighs because that's what I defrosted. And I added extra water because the recipe actually calls for chicken stock. And I'm like, well, why do extra work? So I did extra water and I seasoned my chicken really good. And then I used our salad choppers to chop it all up. So now that's really, to be honest, is like the hardest part of this recipe. You actually use French bread to toast your croutons. I actually made, for the very first time, my own French bread today. I have some work to do, but it tastes really good. It's the other loaf. The first loaf is in the oven right now, toasting for my croutons. So we have our chicken, and the seasoning that I used was the garlic and herb seasoning. So this is one of my favorites, guys. It's so good. Now, the recipe calls for you take marinara sauce, okay? You're gonna put it right in your quick cooker, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the sear function because we're gonna get this hot. This is our skillet. This is our saucepan for our meal, okay? Now, the thing it also calls for is some diced tomatoes with onions and garlic. You guys, I didn't have any of that. I just had regular diced tomatoes. So I took garlic and I chopped up onions and I did put it in the skillet. So I'm gonna put that in there. Now I have my tomatoes, and since all I had was a big can, I'm gonna take the rest of this and put this right in a Ziploc, well, it's a reusable bag. And now I'll freeze this and mark on it what it is, and then just put it in the freezer. And if I need something, then I'll have something like that on hand. So I'm gonna take my big scraper and stir this up, okay? Now, there are some differences. The recipe that I'll post is from our website, and it actually is using our deep covered baker, and you can do this entire thing in the microwave. So that makes it even easier, okay? But I just thought, since I'm doing the quick cooker, this just makes it really come together, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add in some Parmesan cheese. And this is going to be, that's it, okay? So my oven just beeped because soup is important. It's been snowing all day where we're at. And I'm like, well, I always like some hot soup on cold days like this. And why dirty a bunch of dishes, right? So this right here is on the sear function. So the sear function means it's your skillet, it's your saucepan. I don't have to put this in another container or cooking dish, vessel. It's gonna cook right in here. So let me get my hot pad holder. This, you guys, are homemade croutons. I almost forgot the word. And I made it out of homemade French bread. And yes, I don't know, Doug even asked me, he's like, why are you on this kick of making your own bread? I'm like, well, I'm home, what else am I gonna do? So anyway, this is such an easy recipe, you guys. If you have most of the stuff on hand, the only thing I didn't have was some mozzarella cheese. We used that last night for homemade pizzas. But this is gonna cook for just a few minutes, get it nice and hot, and I'll put the toasted croutons in bowls and pour this over and have some French bread with butter, and we'll have dinner. So I'll post the recipe.